The teal mask is the first part of the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon VIolet, and it will take us to Kitakami, where things are quite different from how they are in Paldea. While Paldea has that more European vibe to it, considering its inspiration on the Iberian Peninsula, here we're clearly in a more traditional Japanese-inspired setting. There are temples there, we are wearing a jinbei, and there are statues of Hisui and Growlithe. So hey, I'm not so ace trainer, and what does Hisui have to do with all of this? Let's get into it. The region where Pokemon Legends Arceus takes place had previously been referenced in history class by showing us Laventon and the old Pokeball, and also, in the Academy's massive library, there's a book that, while not offering a lot of information, seems to also refer to the times of Hisui when people and Pokemon weren't yet as close as they are now. This is nothing new, of course. Pokemon often references stuff from previous games. They have a world to build, that's why people talk so much about world building. But here things seem to be different. They are not just referencing Hisui, the whole place is completely influenced by it. Kitakami, at least to me, will be in the mountainous area that is grayed out in the map of Paldea. So we're talking about a place that is incredibly close to the region, not far away enough to have a completely different culture. Still, and kind of as a reminder, Pokemon geography is not really well known to us, apart from Kanto, Johto and Sinnoh, but I'm counting on them at least being inspired by real-world geography to build the Pokemon world. Not completely, I know, but at least somewhat inspired. So, with that in mind, the fact that this place is influenced by Hisuian lore can only mean one of two things. Either people came back from Hisui and established themselves in that area, creating a place that honored Hisuian myth, or at least respected the role of some Pokemon from it, or Kitakami already existed in the past and then the people from that place left for Hisui. We know from Kojita, or at least from the old verses that I think she wrote, that the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan were not originally from Hisui. They came from different places in the Pokemon world, supposedly because of their love for Sinnoh or Arceus, even though they didn't really know what it was. So, the people of Celestica, the original inhabitants of Hisui, or the people of Sinnoh, and the people that Kojita is a part of, as well as very likely Volo, left Hisui in the past. We knew that. We knew that some went to Sinjo, since it is referenced in the old verses as well. But maybe some left for a different place and created Kitakami, and eventually, as legends tend to change through time, they forgot who was a true Sinnoh. The whole time and space thing became mixed up and led them into strife. Two clans formed and they sailed the seas to find the real answers. We know they lived by the same lore, since inside their houses both of them have not only their original leaders, Ancient Maxi and Ancient Archie, but also Ancient Alder, meaning that they listened to the same stories, they simply didn't draw the same conclusions. Still, I prefer the approach of them actually hailing from different places and only then left to create Kitakami. The word Kitakami means Northern God, and like I said, the geography of the Pokemon world isn't really that known to us. While usually Japan is talked about as in the east, there's a chance that Hisui/Sinnoh is in the north. Kitakami might get its name from the Northern God, which to some people might be Arceus. Or maybe others in Paldea named it Kitakami because the people there believed on a different thing than what they did. The people from the north had their own god. We know that Sinnoh myth is exactly that, the myth of Sinnoh, the mythology of the Sinnoh region, because most people don't refer to Arceus as the creator. Most Pokédex entries refer that the people of Sinnoh, the mythology of Sinnoh, believes that Arceus is the creator. So maybe Kitakami was created to honor that ideology. In order for that to happen though, it would have to be after both clans make peace with each other. We end Pokemon Legends Arceus Daybreak DLC with Irida and Adaman working together in what they call those fast-changing times. They embrace the future, they embrace each other's almighty Sinnoh, and they now have knowledge of Arceus as well. As Hisui started slowly turning into Sinnoh, maybe more people decide to leave to spread that knowledge that was now being passed down from past generations. And maybe eventually they got together. Why do I say this? Well, if we take a look at the original art for the teal mask, we have ourselves in the middle sporting our green jinbei, and we have Kieran and Carmine in the back wearing different colored ones. Carmine has a blue one and Kieran a more pinkish one. The colors are incredibly similar to those of the Diamond Clan and Pearl Clan, and both Kieran and Carmine are brothers and they are from Kitakami. I think the colors aren't there for no reason at all. I think they are meant to imply a connection between them both and the story and lore introduced in Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you watched one of my previous videos, you know that I believe there's a Legends game on the way, this time related to Johto or at least Sinjo. And these two characters can be a great way to keep that lore alive, especially since a lot of what we got in Legends Arceus was completely new and not really an answer to anything. Pokemon Legends Arceus not only raised a lot of questions about the past of the Sinnoh region with all the ruins of Celestica laying around and the mentions of Sinjo showing up again, but also failed to provide any answers for those same questions. Clearly there are meant to be more games that explore that lore, it isn't a one-time thing. I don't think the Teal Mask will be the one that ends up explaining everything, and I don't think Kieran and Carmine have all the information necessary to understand the past of the Sinnoh region and the Pokemon world. But I think they will probably be able to connect that lore to the current events and make what we're going to see in the future a bit more clear. We know the events of Legends Arceus affected the present. I mean, we were taken from the present to go there, Ingo was taken as well. Many Pokemon travel through distortions of space and time. Maybe the stories of the people that went from Hisui to Kitakami, maybe the stories passed down to their descendants, tell us what happened after the daybreak in Pokemon Legends Arceus and the Hisui region. And that is all I have for you today. Kitakami, or at least Mosui, is connected to Hisui in some way, and Kieran and Carmine are sporting the colors of the Diamond and Pearl clans. I think something is going on there. But what about you? Do you believe they will reference Hisui? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitch as in there Wednesday to Sunday, not Saturday, or join our Discord, all the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.